Something that you've talked about quite a bit is sort of this hidden story, I think, inside the Genius Act and stable coins, and maybe what that's doing in part of this like regime shift monetary transition that we're talking about. How do you see stable coins and the Genius Act being a part of that?
Well, I think the Genius Act is diabolically genius. To me, what it does is create demand, synthetic demand for the front end of the Treasury market. So, this new Fed chair that's getting quite a lashing from the Senate. Everyone says he's a hawk, and they're not going to lower rates because he wants higher rates. But what the Genius Act says is that anytime money moves next January on, it will be moved on a blockchain network backed by short-term treasuries, 90-day or less primarily, which will create synthetic demand for the Treasury. And the Clarity Act says, well, you can't pass out the interest. It's not transferable. The issuer has to hold it. I look at the CEO of USA Tether, which is one of the primary beneficiaries of it, in that they're already Genius Act compliant. And I think, is there any coincidence that the CEO of this new division of Tether is Bo Hines, Trump's crypto czar through last August? I don't know. It kind of seems a little strange to me. And is there any coincidence that Tether has bought $15 billion in gold, the largest stockpile of gold in the world outside of central banks? If you wanted to do two things, if you wanted to reshore manufacturing, which is a whole argument, something I've talked a lot about, but if you wanted to pay down your debt, the way to do it is certainly both are in a devalued dollar. Speaks to Triffin's dilemma, and maybe a soft default on the reserve status is what I've been thinking for a long time, publicly said that in Vancouver. And the thing of it is that that's what the world has done to us. It's the only way to bring back manufacturing. It's the only way to pay down the debt. But the only thing that you can do this against, the supreme neutral asset, global neutral asset, is gold. You don't want to lower it against the dollar index, which is a basket of crappy currencies. They're continually devaluing against the dollar because of Triffin's dilemma. They need to get more dollars. Look what the United Arab Emirates has just said.
Right.
There's such a dollar shortage that they're going to have to start paying for things in yuan if we don't open up the swap lines to them. So in other words, if we did, they would have to sell their currency to buy our currency in order to buy oil. That's what Triffin's dilemma says, that countries will constantly do that because there's not enough dollars given through trade alone. So they go into the open market and buy dollars, which devalues their currency against ours. So measuring your currency against a basket of other currencies, or any currency, if you are the reserve currency, again, another fool's errand. You're measuring against devaluing currencies, a poor measuring stick. Measure it against gold. And the higher gold goes and the lower the dollar goes, devalues the dollar, making paying off debt easier, making perhaps reshoring manufacturing much easier. The moral of the story is that I believe the Genius Act was created to not only somewhat neuter the Federal Reserve by pasting the low front end of the curve down to the floor. The overnight lending rate will be at or near zero, because whether you buy a pack of chewing gum or a new home, if it's in dollars, it's going to be moved by stablecoin and backed by short-term treasuries, synthetic demand for the Treasury market. So it is a scary thing. I had Catherine Austin Fitz on my show, and she said when you mesh the digital ID for voter integrity along with a stablecoin, which kind of lets down people's guard because it's not a central bank digital currency, yet she says it's worse. It's a central bank digital currency in stablecoin clothing because the plumbing goes in and out of the Treasury. And so they will monitor the on-ramp and the off-ramp, that it is the foray into the first step into the digital surveillance state, into the control grid that she's nervous about, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's her viewpoint. But anyways, it's an interesting thing to think that money will move digitally in the name of convenience and expediency. But what it's really doing is giving demand to the front end of the Treasury market that perhaps is losing it and keeping rates really low.
And you think it's diabolically genius because you think it's going to work, and that will, prolong the life of the dollar? That will increase the demand, which then prolongs the life of the dollar? So like on one hand, we kind of started out talking about the loss of trust in the dollar and sort of the ongoing death of the 10,000 paper cuts of the dollar. But then over here, the diabolical genius of the Genius Act is that it will increase demand and extend the life of the dollar?
No, I just think it creates synthetic demand for an asset that is losing demand, the Treasury market.
So then it kind of artificially increases that demand and then prolongs the life of it.
Yes, and allows us to pay down our debt easier and would allow us to potentially bring back manufacturing. Triffin's dilemma, to which both Vice President Vance, who has rallied against this publicly, saying it, along with the knucklehead that is Jared Bernstein. I don't know if you remember ever watching him try to explain how treasuries were created. He was Biden's chief economic advisor. He wrote a report called "Dethrone King Dollar." We can't be the reserve currency anymore. It's eviscerated our manufacturing. How do you bring back manufacturing? Look, Mark, K-shaped economy. You got 60% of America, according to Ray Dalio, with a reading proficiency under that of the sixth grade. We're 39 trillion in debt, which ignores the Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, 175 trillion off balance sheet obligations. That's over 200 trillion in debt. So we don't make anything. We're broke, we're insolvent, and we're uneducated. Just in time for AI to come and kneecap all the good paying jobs, many of them, including entry level. So what do? How do you look your kids in the face or their kids and say, you too have the opportunities that I had? You don't. So how do you bring back manufacturing? Well, the very first thing to do would be to reshore all the gold, which they've done, and that's part of Judy Shelton's idea, which we can talk about or not. But the second thing you do is find a way to massively devalue the dollar. And that would do it if they're taking the interest that cannot be transferred to the holder of the stablecoin and buying gold, pushing the price of the dollar down, putting gold higher, and working out a deal with companies like Tether, like JP, like Goldman, who are going to be issuing these, and say that gold's going to end back up at the U.S. Treasury. We will buy it from you. I kind of think it's really what they want to do. I guess we'll see. But to me, it's diabolically genius because it prolongs the system. Whether or not it prolongs the dollar in the current way we know it now, I think it gives us the ability to maybe start to work down our debt and maybe bring back manufacturing in a synthetic way where we're creating demand to keep the game going when otherwise you wouldn't get that kind of demand for the Treasury market.